Hello, beloved viewers. Greetings from the Ndishakiyes. My name is Caleb Ndishakiye, together with my beloved wife, Patricia. She will introduce herself. It's a great privilege to speak to you today, sharing our marriage testimony and how far and how far the Lord has brought us. It's our joy. I'll give her an opportunity to tell you her name, and then we can proceed.
Hello, our viewers. It's a privilege and an honor to be before you this day. My name is Patricia Ndishakiye. I'm a born-again Christian, wife to Caleb. I'm a social worker by training and a mother of one. That's about me.
Thank you. Caleb again. I should mention I am a believer. I accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I guess that's the reason I have a testimony to share. Father of one, Mr. Jordan Rudahigwa Ndishakiye. He's a young man we love. I am a teacher by profession, currently doing so much as listed below. First, I'm supporting the Reading Association of Uganda in running a literacy project called the Ideal Book Collection. We write books for children and share in libraries, school libraries across the nation. Aside from that, on the side of family, we are privileged to run a business called Customized. And in Customized, we offer outsourced business solutions ranging from contact centers, customer care. We do trainings for companies. We also host trainings and conferences for companies. And so anything ranging from that, please talk to us. Thank you very much. That's a little bit about me. We didn't mention, would you like to talk about the couple groups we belong to?
Oh yes, we are members of Tabitha group that is under the Fathers Union, Mothers Union, Couples Home Builders Fellowship, and we are members there.
Thank you. And yay, on celebration just last Sunday, I had the privilege of enlisting for Fathers Union. So yeah, we're looking forward for how much God has in store for us in that direction. But for now, through the Home Builders, talk about Life Ministry Uganda, talk about Fathers Union and Mothers Union Couples Fellowships. That's where we fit. And it's deep. We thank God that we made that decision to be a part of it, and the growth is real. We have an opportunity to reflect, to talk about our devils, and to drop them and opt for the best there is in our marriage. I think that is it for our introduction. Maybe we could go into the testimony hereafter.
Yes, please.
And on how we met, I think I would like to begin because I caused this. I am the suspect for what's going on here. So whenever I share how we met, I like to use the scripture of and God caused Adam to fall into deep sleep, and from him he took a rib. The deep sleep on my part was, I knew Patricia when we were students at Uganda Christian University. She was a year behind me in a different course, and I knew her, but that's all. I didn't follow her, I didn't do anything. I knew a beautiful girl God created, and that's all. Until we were done with school, she was done with school, and I had gone through a major transformational course called Man Enough. Kind of man he wanted me to be, had fixed all that and helped me understand his picture of a man and a husband and father at that. So when he had taken me through that healing and that transformation, I meet her and asked into a relationship. And there is a long story in that, but breaking it short, 3 years down the road, here we are, married. We got married about 3 years after that. Did I forget anything in there?
No, I think that was it. Meeting Caleb, I was also at the point where I had trusted God for a relationship, and he answered. One thing I would just add, we can't tell the whole story, it's a long one, but the Lord allowed us to grow fast in a friendship, and I think that was on my part. The preacher last Sunday made a joke and said when he proposed to his wife, the wife said, "Let me go and pray about it." So I also gave the same response, "Let me pray about it." And yeah, so that time of me praying about it gave us time to grow in a friendship that later matured into a relationship. And we had 3 years of dating. We got married in December 2019, so this December we'll be celebrating 4 years in marriage. And it has been a great adventure. I do not regret it. I'm happy to be married to my friend.
Maybe to say, I didn't like that whole idea of friendship. I really thought she was using it as a reason to delay me and maybe pick on someone else. But now on this side of marriage, I really celebrate her decision and choice to begin with a friendship, because we were strange to each other, honestly. You know, so that choice to begin with a friendship is everything we anchor on when we are annoying each other in this marriage, when we are not becoming the ideal guy and lady.
Butterflies and romance.
Yes, on those gloomy days,
Yeah.
it's the friendship we anchor on.
Yes.
And so for us, for younger couples, don't ignore the importance of friendship.
Yes.
I think I am the right person to say, because I didn't think it was a great idea. So that's the short version of how we met. God was kind to keep us in a relationship. At this point, maybe, would you like to share the kind of marriage you envisioned at the time we're meeting, and we would like to walk into this, and we both know it's going to be a marriage? I should say that I proposed both a marriage and a relationship at the same time. But would you like to share the kind of marriage you expected from God?
The kind of marriage, I say many times that as young girls, we dream about that day from a much younger age. We think about it so much. So from the example I had seen modeled by my parents, I kind of had a picture of what I would like to see in my marriage, the good things that I could draw and pick out from watching the example that our parents modeled in my home growing up. So I desired to have a godly marriage. It was very important for me to find a fellow believer, to be equally yoked, someone who had the same principles and values with me, someone that I could follow after and allow to lead me, that I'm not questioning and resisting. And the Lord has helped me grow in that. Submission is not something that you wake up and find yourself doing. But yes, that's some of the things that I looked forward to and prayed for in the marriage that God would give me. And I must say that God is answering well.
Oh, nice. On my part, I think I greatly looked at a person with whom we would have an honest relationship from the word go, at dating, but also through our marriage. I very much think that God giving a gift of children, or a fruit of children in this love relationship during marriage, I thought it was going to be very important for us to do joint parenting, and it's something I think was quite an non-negotiable. I thought if you preferred work or travel to family and parenting, on my part preferred that, I thought that would be far away from what I desired. I desired that we did this together. I also believed in leadership, that I would meet a lady who would understand her role in this family as a helper role, as submission, even as I understand my role as loving sacrificially, even to the point of death. I prayed and trusted God for such a kind of a marriage. And so when we meet, these are the two pictures. But a little bit of context, would you like to share with us your cultural background, maybe something like that?
Before that, I just want to add that even as we say all these things, that's not to say that with a submission and a leader husband and a believer, that marriage is not without challenges, is not without difficult days, is not without days where you feel like your friend doesn't understand you. And also to say that someone else listening to Caleb say all these things about the role of the wife as a helper and submission, and a wife prioritizing family over work and travel. I didn't mention in my introduction that I'm currently a stay-at-home mother, and I know many people have mixed feelings about that. So I want to add that it was something that we are in agreement with. Some people may think, you know, maybe you married a very traditional man who wanted to keep you at home and everything. But it was something that we actually discussed, because I was working in the earlier years of our marriage until our son Jordan came along. And it was an agreed upon decision to take that chance. And it's for a season. So anyone watching this and is weighing that decision, is thinking, is this the right thing to do? Is this the right time? It's for a season, and if you are in agreement with your spouse, it's a worthwhile cause, it's a worthwhile venture. That's not to say any judgment for mothers who may choose to continue working. I know many of us as mothers, we struggle with the guilt of, can I be here and be here at the same time? So just wanted to put that out there. What Caleb had mentioned earlier about the culture, yes, so we are from two different cultures. I'm a Mtoro and he's a Mfumbira. But aside from that, we were raised in two different homes, so definitely how things went on in the Ndishakiye household were different from how things run in my household. So merging that, understanding that in our years of courtship and relationship, that was a time for us to share and talk about some of these things in open, clear, honest conversations, as you learn to get to know the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, but even continuing to learn even now as a husband and wife, seeing Patricia does things this way and Caleb does things this way, and now finding a middle ground to now start a culture that the two of us will begin in our home, despite coming from two different backgrounds, family-wise, and backgrounds culture-wise.
Thank you for that nice background. I think I need to add that putting together two cultures, two families is hard work. Is hard work. So we trust and thank God so far, so good. He's given us the grace to talk these things out from the relationship time into our marriage. I think communication is a big thing in our family, and we thank God for that. As we trusted God for the kind of marriage we envisioned, this is how we prepared. Maybe you want to begin with that and take us first through?
One was identifying mentor couples. There were different couples around us that we looked up to and admired how they were doing marriage, how they were doing their relationships. And those were people that we brought close to us, went to for counsel and advice. Reverend Amos Chimera and his wife, Mr. Levi Ndimuvanzi and his wife, the Senyonis, Dr. Senyoni and Dr. Ruth, Dr. John Senyoni and Dr. Ruth Senyoni, and a number of others, the Mutatinas. Those were some of the couples that we looked up to. They gave us a lot of materials to read through, and also just spending time learning from one another, reading and praying through the relationship. Yeah.
Oh yes, thank you for the reading bit. Lots of books. Right books help guide your way, especially when you're going this journey you don't know. And that's something we anchored on. We also drew boundaries.
Yes.
We knew what we cannot do until we are married, and we went out of the way to make sure we did that always.
By the grace of God.
And then we invested heavily in counseling, I will say by the grace of God, because we did counseling, I think, about 6 months before our wedding.
Yeah.
And we could feel we had a little bit of readiness. We had been talked to on several things from different directions. for which we truly thank God. And the Senyonyis, this credit is yours. We truly, truly bless the Lord. And so how is it going? How is it going now that we have this clear background? How is it going?
How it is going, thankfully, being members of All Saints Reza, we are members of the Tabitha group, like we mentioned earlier. Being part of Fathers Union and Mothers Union in that Home Builders Couples Fellowship has continued to keep us steady on this path. That's a place where we are able to still learn from our elders. We happen to be the youngest couple in our group. So there's a lot to learn from those who have gone ahead of us, those who have walked this journey. Place to talk about the challenges we're going through and learn how to overcome them through God's word.
And realizing how raw we are.
Yes.
It's quite interesting. We could speak here and you think we had a thorough preparation for this. This fellowship and the materials we study help you realize you just need a lot more growth. So we discovered how raw we are and we continue to grow through it. Of course, challenges of difference in culture, of course, challenges of a child, tired all the time, work, you have a child, you have family business you're running, and all this happening around you, and burnout. We keep facing these challenges, and nothing will prepare you for the roles that come in family. That's why you must find a group to belong to. You must find a couples group to work with, because this thing can be a forest of its own, and it's easy to get lost in there. So our joy has been finding an opportunity to anchor and to work with different couples, some younger than us, outside the home builders, but mostly with the home builders, couples older than us, from whom we feed. We have also enjoyed the opportunity of joint parenting, and we like to talk about this. It wasn't on the wallet, on the list the whole time, but we would you like to talk about it maybe?
You can go ahead.
Oh yeah, we run a joint wallet. That's something we like to share with couples. It saves us from lots and lots of challenges. We run a joint wallet. All the money we have is ours. We manage it together with consultation. We account for it together. No matter who brought it to the wallet, it's ours together. So it's something, it's a magic bullet for us. It helps save us from lots and lots of challenges. So it's encouragement to couples out there to pray and trust God and start working towards such a thing. It doesn't mean you have a joint account. It doesn't mean you put money in the same pocket. It just means you have joint accountability and you're spending in transparency and planning together. And lastly, what are we praying for the future in our marriage goals, in our relationship goals? What are we praying for? Would you like to share some of it?
I think one is trusting God for the opportunity for discipleship. I don't think we will have done a good service to learn the things that we're learning and keep them here. So we're trusting God that as we continue to learn these things, there will be other couples that we pour into and share this with. And that's already happening through the Tabitha group. Is there anything else?
Oh yeah, the challenge of offspring, and it's also in discipleship, having children, and the challenge to disciple them in the word and to grow them in the fear of the Lord is a big challenge on us. When discipline sets in, when growth sets in, it's an uphill task. So trusting God that He could help us raise our children after His heart. And of course, 4 years in marriage, our relationship is transitioning.
Yes.
From the honeymoon stage. We do not know how that looks, that we can keep close, that we can keep our bond, and that God could help us continue to use what we are learning as an outflow and share with as many couples around us. Other than that, we are joyful and blessed to be married and to be doing it God's way, by His grace. We have lots of messes. This testimony should not cause you to think that we are a perfect one. There is lots of messes around us, but God helps us through. And we are trusting God that we continue to grow together. We continue to get opportunities to hear from your testimony too on how you're doing it, because that's how we learn. We hear from others and learn from others.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to share our testimony. Be blessed, and may God continue to richly enrich you in your marriages.
And again, we are the Ndishakiyes, and for those of you looking for us for business, our numbers are open.
Sure.
Thank you very much.